There we go. Good morning, YouTube. It is 11:45 a.m. Sunday, the 1st of May. And I told you in my last video that we would be back to do our update video, and I hope you can hear me okay this time. My microphone is a little bit closer to me right now, and I'm not in the chair today. I need to figure out how to set it up to do it at the chair with the microphone kind of closer to me. But today is just our update for what we have completed for the month of April. I think it was fairly decent. I don't have any amounts of stitches, like that kind of statistics, but I'm hoping to kind of try to do that for this month, for May. And I'll go over things that I will be working on for May as well. I don't personally have any Mania plans. I've never actually participated in Mania kind of things. I am kind of debating on seeing what fabric I have, because I had some extra fabrics, and looking at maybe starting a couple things. I do want to start some stuff to make sure that I'm working on it, and I need to get some fabrics to do, because I want to restart my supersized max color Once Upon a Fairy Tale. I had started it and I didn't like the fabric it was on, and I now know how I want to work it, so I need to get the fabric for that one, and I need to get the fabric for my other supersized, but then I need fabric for some other pieces as well. And I have some other things that will need to be worked on and will be being worked on, since I did order my new computer. No, that's not what I'm filming on. It has not come in yet. It's supposed to come in tomorrow. Yay. And I can then start on some businessy stuff that I've got planned, and hopefully once I get that all situated and get some stuff out and stuff figured out and played with, then we'll be in business, hopefully. Anyway, as for this month, what we have done, so I did have one tiny finish for April, which was this little kit, and here it is. I need to put a little bit of glue around the back like it says in there, so it'll keep it in the frame, but here he is. A love bug. It was super simple, very easy, so that was my only finish. So yeah, that was my only finish. Oh my gosh. See, I didn't go through those. I'm gonna have to go. I've been going through all my threads and organizing, and I'm trying to pull together and just have a master set to pull from, hence why I can start more things. And I just found more threads that I need to go through. It's a never-ending story. Alright. As for things that I worked on in April, we'll just start with the Lord of the Rings style that started. And, wow, okay. I don't know why that pulled up that way. It is a picture of the One Ring, and it was the free sale that was put out on a Facebook group called Free Cross Stitch Patterns by Visa, V-I-S-A, and she had released the first page to us in April, to which I was super excited. I did actually manage to finish the first page in April, yay me, and she has just released the second page, so I'll be able to start that and do that this month. It is only a 12-page project, and it is of the One Ring, and I did finish mine. It is on, I'm doing mine 2 over 1/10 stitch on 25 count, and here is where I am. So I do the loop start when I do 10th stitch using 2 strands, and what you saw at the bottom, those are just waist threads, so that's where I've ended threads. And whenever we get the page below, then why is this not loading? Then I will snip all those off, and it will, there we go, they won't be there. So they are situated where I will stitch 10 stitches. I usually do waist threads about 10 to 15 stitches. Sometimes I do 20. It just depends on how I feel about it. But these are at 10, so there will be 10 stitches or almost like 100 stitches over them. This is what it will look like when it's done. Oh, that's showing up really good. I'm so excited about that. And I was very happy that the letters really came out very well. I'll show you one more time. Yeah, okay. So we're going to be doing the next page, which will go right over here. So we're going to get more of the ring. Now, as you can tell, I'm not getting, I don't think it shows. No, I have a little bit up here where it's kind of like getting a little bit of some column ridges, but not too much. And those will come out whenever you wash your fabric. It's a tension problem, and I have been really trying to counteract that. So I did finish that page. I think I can tell you how many stitches that was roughly, if I get into it correctly. I have stats on this one. That one, because I put this pattern into the Markup RXP app that I discovered that I really like. Not that I don't like Pattern Keeper, I do, but this one worked well for this pattern. And if you'll give me a moment, I can load it to show you. Things take a little while. Get some coffee. Now, bear in mind, I was literally just learning how to use this app, so it took me a moment to figure this out. So there were 5,366 stitches on that page, and it took me 30 hours and 37 minutes. That was total working time. I stitched on it 12 days. My average stitch rate per day was 447 stitches a day, so that's not bad. And my average stitch time a day was 2 hours and 34 minutes on it. That's not bad either. Those are actually pretty decent. That's pretty decent, surprisingly. I wouldn't have thought that would have been that way. The next project that I have worked on is the TCSS, or Cross Stitch Studio Mystery 2022 Sal. Okay, sorry about that. Had to pause because I had to let my dog in the room. So if you hear any whining or snuffling, it's her. She's over here in the chair. Hopefully you won't hear any of that, and hopefully she won't bark or interrupt me yet again. So the next thing that I worked on was the Cross Stitch Studio Mystery 2022 Sal, which came out in January, and this is actually the first time that I've gotten behind on it. So I'm about a page behind. They release 2 pages a month, and I just kind of put the brakes on it for a little bit and decided to work on filter through some other stuff, and I will be able to finish it this year. But I only finished one of the pages last month in April, and so I've got to finish page 8, and then I've got page 9 that has to happen. So before May 15th, and that will give us page 10 or page, I don't know. It'll give us, I think, maybe the one below page 9. 11, 10, 11, 12, 13 maybe? I don't remember. But we got page 4 and page 8 this last month in April. And I did finish page 4. So I have pages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 finished. This is what I have. It's coming out really nice. I love it. Yes, these are all waist threads. They will be clipped like the other one. Everything will be clipped and worked in. These are all waist threads from page 4. They are getting worked in as I work on page 8. Now, this project is worked on 32 count 1/1 tent stitch. So, yes, you can see the grid through there, but you otherwise can't see your fabric. It's very good coverage to me. This is how I want to work my supersized charts. Is doing the 1/1 half stitch. I don't have any issues with tension or any like column lines with this project, and it's not very bumpy in the areas where there are heavy confetti, which is the entirety of the seahorse. So that's very good. But yeah, I've really loved this piece. This has been very good. I think once I finish this page and then 1 and maybe 2, I think it's halfway, or at least when I finish the first page, when I finish page 9, it may be halfway. I'm not sure, but it's definitely very close to being done. Well, I say very close to being done. It's further along than most of my full coverage pieces. Most. Some may be quite close to it, but I have actually finished an entire row of pages, which is exciting. So this will continue. Well, we'll go over that in a little while. I don't have a full photo of what that will look like, so because that was a mystery, and so you'll just be seeing it as we go along. All right. So in April, I started and enacted working. Let's pull this out. Working my rotations, which is the 5% rotation on certain projects to push them along, and that way I'm working on everything and touching everything, and the page finish rotation, and that is to work through some other things that I felt like a page was more accurate, and at the time they were on paper patterns. Most of them are on paper patterns, some of them not so much, and I could push them into the 5% rotation now because they will fit into the Markup RXP app, which still rotates off of a page, so I guess it wouldn't really work as well. So page finish is still more accurate for them. That works. Okay, so I kind of enacted that, and we started with Cinderella by Tilton Crafts. And her 5% that when I got to her made her hit 10% complete. This is where I ended. That saw me finish page 1. And of course this area here is her hair. So let me pull up what she looks like for you to see. And I can tell you she is on 25 count 1/1 full cross. I'm trying very hard. I'm kind of moving out of a little bit out of my parking a little bit, not too terribly much. So she will look like this. So that is the True Disney. That's by Daniel Kordek. And I did complete my 5% on her rather quickly because there was a lot of block colors. And then I moved on to my next one in the 5%, which was Mini Cozy Christmas by Donna Gelsinger and Heaven and Earth Designs. And whenever I got done with Mini Cozy Christmas 5%, I ended at 13%. So I now need to go find her. Mini Cozy Christmas. Mini hits. Cozy. So this is where I got to. Yes, there's a mass amount of parked threads. I'm trying to work through that, but I literally stop at, well, you can't really, well, that's okay. So when I started working to do the 5%, I started trying to work through my parked threads, but I realized it was kind of difficult, so I came over here, and then I really wanted to do the wreath. So I did the wreath and completed the wreath, and that got me all of my 5% in there. I don't believe I have any page finishes on this as of yet. This is stitched 2/1 10th stitch on 28 count, and this one I had to really work on because in the higher confetti areas it is a little bumpy where I've had some tension issues. Now it isn't where I stitched recently with the wreath, and that is pretty confetti heavy, but that one actually came out relatively well in that area, but I was making more of a conscious effort to not pull my threads quite so tight, and that seemed to work for me right there. But I'm hoping when I wash it that will kind of work its way out, and you won't see me doing too many projects 2/1 10th stitch on 28 count anymore. That is definitely a decision that I made this that was definitely a decision I made this year, was that if it is on 28 count, it will be 1/1 full cross from now on, and the only tent stitch projects you will see would be on 32 count 1/1 tent stitch or 25 count 2/1 tent stitch. Anything after that is going to be full cross. And this is what Mini Cozy Christmas by Donna Gelsinger looks like. We've had a lot of fun with that. Excuse me. The next thing that I worked on, I was supposed to have started my 5% on Death by Cross Stitch, and we all know I was avoiding that. So I made 2 new starts last month. One was a freebie from Tilton Crafts. Now I don't know if it still is or isn't, or if it's up or not, but one was definitely a freebie from Tilton Crafts, and I had this random little piece of 25 count. This one is stitched 1/1 full cross, and I removed all the background on it, and I started it in the middle because I removed all the background and just to make sure that it would fit in the middle of my smallish little piece of fabric, because this is a 25 count. And this is Cupcake Dreams. Now I worked this for a few days because I started it and worked it through to its 5%. So this is Cupcake Dreams, and yes, I removed all the background because it was 38.65 was the entirety of the background. And that literally is the piece of fabric that I had, and it fits because this is about as wide as it will be if I can get it to load. Come on. I don't know why things don't like to do whenever I want them to. There we go. This is what it will look like. So it's like a little chocolate strawberry cupcake. And I thought it was cute. So I'm going to be working it. The next one that I started, and this was just to get a start on my project. If you heard any noise in the background, I apologize. Dog sneeze. The next thing I started was a new project that I purchased that month, and it was Mini U.S. Travel Bookshelf by Amy Stewart and artwork by Hayde. This was on a 28 count that she's going to do that. I know she's going to do it. She's going to interrupt me. This was on a 28 count that I actually unpicked one project from and just decided it fits, I'm starting it. So this is the Mini U.S. Travel Bookshelf, and I did just start it so that way it could get into the rotation to be worked, so it's not on its turn yet. And this is all I got, and it is 1/1 full cross on 28 count. So it's just the very top left corner, not very far at all, not even 1%. This is what it will look like. For someone who owns a lot of Amy Stewart bookshelves, this is the only one I have started, sadly, because, well, it's not the only one I have started, it's the only one that I've Pardon me. Sorry about that. Had to let the scoundrel dog out, which I knew she was gonna do because I knew it's frustrating. I don't like dealing with things like that. She does it on purpose. Anyhow. That was the second start. And then I actually did pull out my Death by Cross Stitch by Long Dog samplers, and I have not completed the 5% on it. My completion for 5% will be hitting 13%, and I haven't gotten there yet. I am stitching it on 40 count linen. By Picture This Plus. It's the color Ale, and I'm doing it 1/2 full cross, and it's in some purple silk, and then I'm doing 310 as the back stitch parts. I'm not going to take it out of the Q-snap because I am currently working on it, but I have only one page that is finished, and I had started back stitching it in the purple, and I've got to unpick all that, which I'm fine with, or I can just stitch over it. It's fine. So this is where I am, and I did work this part here that's new. And this is what it will look like when it's done. Now I can pull this up because I've partially got it in Pattern Keeper, but I kind of go back and forth so I can see the back stitch, and I can tell you where I'm at. So I am at 9.62%. So I'm close to 10, so I only have like 3% left to do. For some reason, single color projects are really hard for me to do, especially this one. I don't know why. I'm a full coverage person, as you can see, but I've been trying. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to enjoy it. I have one other long dog, which is Pandemic, but I haven't started it. Seeing as how I'm struggling to do this one, I just haven't started that one yet because I want to finish this one first, and then I'm trying to figure out how I want to work Pandemic, and I haven't decided yet. The last two things that I worked on for April are two smalls, because I just decided to start pulling out some small already started projects because I have a bunch of them that are already started and not finished, and for that time in the evening when I'm not wanting to stop stitching, but I need something smaller to work on. And these are all paper patterns, so they're just something I can pull out and have next to me on the bed. This is a little kit I had started a long time ago. I don't even remember. I wonder if that's on my Instagram. I don't remember how long ago it was, but it was way back when I was actually taping around the edges with masking tape. I don't do anymore, obviously, but yeah. And this one is about halfway finished, so that's good. And the back stitching, and it also shows how I was learning to do French knots, and they are awful, the ones that I have done. So this is a little Janlin kit, and it's called Keep Looking Up. So it's a little bulldog. And this is where I'm at. So I have actually put in the little bit of gray down here in the bulldog, and I completed a lot of this light green area right here in the, so yeah, get a little closer. A lot of this light green here and around the butterfly, but I did do the little bit of gray in the bulldog. So I haven't done a whole lot on him yet. I'm not a big fan of the, what is this, 14 count? Yeah, 14 count. I don't care for those kinds of things much anymore, but it, every little bit helps. So that stays on the bed with me. And this guy I also did. This is a Artiste Mini kit, and it's a cross stitch or cactus garden. Now I switched out the fabric. It came with, I think this came with 16 count. No, this came with a little piece of 14 count, and I still have it, but I swapped it out for 18 count, I believe. That is opalescent, and because I wanted to put each of the cactuses in these little hoops to frame them. But I think the one in the middle won't fit, but I'll have 4 of them in their own little hoops, and then I may have to do the one in the middle in a slightly bigger hoop maybe, or something. This is what it's supposed to look like. And I was working on this cactus up here. And so I've almost completed the stitching on the cactus. This one's not so bad to work on. I just need to finish the little flowers still and the pot, and then do the back stitch, and that cactus will be done. And then I'll move over and do the next one. So I have been working very diligently. That's all the things that I worked on for April. May, moving forward, you will see me keep working on Death by Cross Stitch, the Mystery Sal for Cross Stitch Studio, and the Lord of the Rings Sal. The little smalls. Oh, I forgot to show you one more. I did work on in April was in the page finish rotation, which is a picture of my grandparents. Now I charted this using Pixel Stitch, and it's a photo of my grandparents. I've only got one page finished, and I'm close to the second one. Totally forgot about this piece. I'm very thrilled with this. And that's the picture, that's my grandmother on this awful floral couch. This was from when she was graduated high school. That will still be out. Let me see if I can hold that one up. Oh, wait. It's in here. I do think no, I didn't work on that one. Okay. I thought I worked on the other one, but I didn't. Just this one. And once it loads my document, I'll show you. But for, if I can get it to load the document, come on. There we go. So this is what it will look like. Sorry about the glare, but that is the picture of my grandparents. My grandfather is deceased and has been for 5 years now. So that's what we're doing. But I did work on that. So the projects that will be going forward for May is Death by Cross Stitch Studio Mystery Cell, the Lord of the Rings cell, the two smalls, and my picture of my grandparents. And I'm not sure what starts I'm gonna plan, but be aware that there's probably gonna be a couple, if not more. I just have to look at getting some fabric and checking what fabric I have under the bed, since that I did have some extra fabrics. I do have a piece of 28 count, a giant piece of 28 count. That is where I started supersized Once Upon a Fairy Tale, and I'm unpicking what I had, and I'm going to be cutting that down for, I think, roughly 2 projects, maybe, depending on what they are. So there's that. But yeah, I do have a little bit of fabric, and I'm just going to be seeing what I got and going through and picking some projects and starting some stuff, since I've got just about my full set of threads. So who knows what's in store for May in the starting project point anyway. That is all I have. And that's everything I worked on. I am going to be keeping track of how many stitches I do for the month of May on things that are countable, and I may try to count on my paper patterns as well, just to see if I can, by the end of May, give you like a monthly stitch count and see what I do in 1 month. Now, this is a larger month because it has 31 days, but well, it'll be interesting to see what that statistic is. So I hope to see you again at the beginning of June. Fun news. June is actually going to be a fun month for me as well, so just skip ahead to next month. June 5th, my boyfriend comes home. That's his last day. His last day on his base. He's actually getting out of the military, so that's his last day. He's coming home. And then June 10th is when Jurassic Park Dominion comes out into theaters, so I'm super excited about that. I love Jurassic Park. I need to find a pattern so I can stitch it. We'll see what I can do. So that might be something that I start in June. Fun. Well, but yeah, June is when my boyfriend comes home, so I'm really excited about that because it's just a month away. Exciting. Anyway, I will see you guys at the beginning of June for my May update. So happy stitching. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you again. So thank you for watching. Bye.